What's going on, everybody? What's up? What's up? It's me, E Rock, aka Eric Bland. If anybody's out there, give us a shout out. What's up? What's up? Hey, yo. Sorry, my chair's acting cray on me. What is going on? There we go. I think I'm situated. If you're in the chat, say hello. I see Caleb is here. Man, I'm starting to wonder if everybody tunes in just for Monica. I see that she's not here, obviously. And now it's just me and you. Anyway, but nonetheless, we're going to continue on with the show. Hey, what's up? Hobbs Dirt Ranch. What's going on? Our visitor from last week, Miss Jocelyn, JJ, Jay Heasy. What up? Let's see. Finding happiness in all you do. How are you? How are you? So glad to see you in here. Emma is in here. What's going on? Let's see who else we have in here. People are coming in. We got Green Granny 2, Miss Denise Paschal. Hello. So glad you're in here. Scott, my friend, Rambling with the Brooms. Thank you, my friend. I appreciate it. Thank you for being here. As I mentioned, I don't know if you heard or not. There we go. At home with Tom and Rhonda Howard. Hello. So glad that you're in here. Appreciate you coming in. You can see that I'm all by my lonesome. So I don't know how I'm going to behave tonight. We just never know what's going to happen. Don't know if you had a chance to watch last week's episode or not. If you didn't get a chance to, I would suggest maybe going back, taking a look at it. What's up, Mama? See you in here. Miss Susie Jacobson. Hello. So glad that you're in here. Thank you. So last week's episode, just quick recap. About halfway through, we did the sampling. Don't know if you saw it or not, but if you didn't, you need to go and check it out. We did some tasty stuff up in there. Thanks to Jocelyn, which filled in for Monica. And because she was filling in, she got surprised with special food. So I don't know, maybe she doesn't think it's special. I think it's special. I thought it was special. First time ever having that. So it's really cool. All right, I'll just tell you if you didn't see it. We got to eat for the first time pig testicles. So, and it wasn't that bad. I think that, some people say mind over matter. And for me, MIC is special food. For me, I agree that sometimes the mind will get to you when you're testing something or trying something and you just don't know what it's going to taste like. Now, here's the thing. Leading up to sampling, don't be putting words in my mouth now. Leading up to the sampling, I don't want to say I did extensive research, but I asked a lot of questions. And so in the South, I guess they have a thing that they call calf fries, CALF. I'm saying it differently than Southern folks, but calf fries are, they are a delicacy, I've hard. You can get them as hors d'oeuvres, or some people call them horse duvers. When I was thinking about doing this, the reason why I was doing this was not to be gross or to be weird, but I was really doing it because of the fact that we raise our own food and our own meat especially, and we don't buy meat outside of some chicken every now and again, and I'm trying to get away from that altogether. But by doing that, I didn't want to waste anything, right? We don't want to waste food. We don't want to waste any part of the animal. And at a minimum, what I was willing to acknowledge was I didn't like it, and I would be willing to give it to the dogs. At least it wasn't going to waste. Because if you go and talk to butchers, you'll find that a lot of times when people take their animals in for process, they don't eat certain parts of it. The pigs, typically people won't ask for hearts. They won't ask for livers. They won't ask for kidneys. Cows, oxtail, heart, liver, kidneys. And at a very minimum, you can take them and give them to the pigs. So at least things aren't being wasted. So let's go up here a little bit. I see Miss Jeannie Lipsky made it in here. Thank you so much for coming in. Tina Ladybug, fellow Texan, what's up? Let's see who else. Mr. Gary Wilson, a.k.a. Garrett, a.k.a. G-Dog. And you may be thinking, well, nobody's ever called me that. Today we are. Gary G-Dog Wilson, what's up? We got Miss Liberty Wilson. Hello, hello. So glad that you're in here as well. Uncle Al over at Die Bullfrog 79. A very, very intelligent man. If you haven't had a chance yet, go over there and check Uncle out. Show him some love. He is a very, very smart person. Miss Susie Jacobson, I think I said hello, but I'm going to say hi again. Let's see who else we got in here. Yes, I did say hi to you. Let's see. Am I missing somebody? If I am, I apologize. Grace and Fire. Hello, hello. Joyful Noise and Notes. Hello, hello. Let's see who else we got. Our Okie Homestead. What's going on? So as you can tell, I am here by myself right now. Again, by myself. I'm starting to wonder what's going on with Monica, how she's always gone on Thursdays. But if you're checking us out on Instagram or Facebook, or if you are following some of the community tabs that we put up, you'll see that Monica is actually on some vacation with the kids. And I couldn't, how do I say this? I was going to say I couldn't be happier, but I didn't want it to come out like that. Scott, thank you so much for dropping links. I really appreciate you, man. Vineyard Chicks is in here too. Hello. So glad that you're here. Thank you so much for coming in. So it's not that I'm happy that she's gone. I want to say it came out the wrong way. But what I want to say is that they're going over to visit Monica's mom, and we're all about family. Family is so important that, you never, it's one of these things that if I can give a snapshot into Monica's brain for just a minute. I want to say, before we get there, I just want to say hello to Our Okie Homestead, Dawn Ray B. Hello. Thank you so much for coming in here. If I give a snapshot of Monica's brain, Monica is a server by heart, by nature. This is a woman that always, always, always does things for other people. And a lot of times she does it to her own demise. She extends herself too far. She's willing to do certain things to make other people's lives easier, to do things for them, to take the pressure off of them. And a lot of times she forgets about herself. Now, she never forgets about her kids. Don't get me wrong about that. But for her, she always puts other people first. And I'm so appreciative for her and the things that she does. And I cannot say that enough. But when I say that I was happy for her to go, yes, I am happy for Monica. And the reason why is because she's going to see her mom. And to me, a lot of people, what they don't know, and I've lived my life like this for a very long time. And you may look at me and think, hey, this guy, Eric, not very old. And you'd be 100% right. I'm not very old. But I learned at a very young age, when my dad was in a severe motorcycle accident, that from day to day, you don't know. You just don't know what the Lord has in store. And sometimes what is in store is loved ones that won't make it through the day. And that's a hard thing to swallow. And if you've watched the videos, which I'm assuming most of the folks in here has, my dad is with me, obviously. He's still with us. But it was a very, very hard time in life. And I say hard meaning it was trying. It was good in the sense that it taught us to trust in the Lord, that the Lord was going to take care of everything. And it doesn't always mean that it's going to work out the way we want it to be, but it did work out for us to be able to keep Dad around, and wouldn't have it any other way. And so that being said, because we don't know from day to day what life has for us, what the Lord has for us, we gotta take every day as if it's our last day, to make sure that we're being kind, make sure that we're demonstrating love and kindness, and just doing the things like I see Monica doing all the time. And so I'm just so appreciative for her. And so, of course, leading up to this trip, Monica was beating herself up, thinking, I shouldn't go. I'm leaving too much on you. There's a lot of work. And there is. And we'll get to that in a little bit. But when I look at the value of spending with your loved ones or spending friends, family, um, take advantage of that, folks. And I think, especially with the whole COVID thing that took place, that people started to see that a little bit more, because they missed out with Thanksgivings or Christmases or holidays or birthdays. And, I've seen some of the shows where people miss out on their significant others, certain, precious days to do certain things. And so we just don't ever want to forget about those times. And so as Monica was beating herself, I'm sorry, I'm looking at a behind the scenes message here. Oh, okay. Um, so as time was getting closer and Monica got to that place where she was, questioning whether or not she should go, that was the underlying message was go and spend time with your mom, with your stepdad, and get the kids over there. That's one thing that I don't want to miss out on either. And when Monica and I were first married, we decided to we lived within the range of all of our parents. And so her parents were split up, but mine were still together. So it was kind of like a triangular shape of where they all lived. And we kind of lived in the middle so that we could just get to all of them. I think the furthest one out was about 12 and a half, 15 minutes. And, when you go from living 12 and a half minutes to 15 minutes away from your family, and then you move 18 hours away, it's even more valuable to spend that quality time, that family time, with your family, with your friends, that your loved ones. What's going on, Daz? Thank you so much for coming in. I appreciate it. Just coming in, getting right to it. Hit that thumbs up. Thank you so much. If you guys haven't had a chance to check out Daz, he's on the other side of the world over in beautiful Australia. I got some dogs from Australia. I mean, not like directly from them, but like they were descendants of Australia. I got some Australian cattle dogs. What's up? My boy Titus out there. He's the herding dog. He is awesome. Love him to death. So yes, thank you guys so much for coming in. I appreciate it. So anybody that's jumping in here that's looking for Monica, I just want to apologize ahead of time. Now would be a good time to go ahead and back out if you're here for her, because she's not going to be here, or will she? We'll have to wait and see. So, yeah. So when Monica and I moved halfway across the country, it was tough for us because of the fact that we went from being so close to far away. And one of the things that I really, really appreciate, we're talking about family right now. If you just jumped in here, by the way, and Dale, I see you. Thank you so much for coming in. Gail, Southern Living. Hello. I was thinking about you last week. My mind works in weeks. After lives or after certain videos, I start thinking about who I haven't seen and wanted to reach out, but you beat me to it. So thank you so much for coming in here. Appreciate it. But yeah, side note from the living so far away, I see with Uncle Al trying to cook oxtail stew, heart, kidney pie, sweet brains. Well, see, now that's something that I haven't tried yet, Uncle Al. I really want to eat every part of the animal at least once to say that I've at least tried it. And if I don't like it, I don't like it. It's kind of like this gentleman I worked with the other day. He was saying that he was raised, and I was raised a little bit like this too. I remember my parents saying this to me, that when you try something, don't just try it once, try it at least twice. And so, yeah, I would love to do that. And unfortunately, sometimes I think that sometimes when we're in a part of the world that, how do I want to say this? I don't want to be offensive when I say this, but we're very privileged people here in America, right? And probably most people in this chat, Australia, being part of a free country, you have options to do certain things. When you live in less privileged countries, there's a little less pickiness, if you will, with the foods that you eat. And so, with my mom, I always heard stories about how she was part of a very poor family. They ate beans 5 days a week. They had meat 1 day a week. They were able to get like one glass of milk a week because they were a family of six, 4 kids, mom and dad. And, when you step back and look at that, sometimes we turn our nose up to things that we don't necessarily know about. We haven't tried them, right? Maybe it's because of ethnicity, because of where you're from geographically in the world, that you just don't eat certain things. But man, if I knew somebody that was able to prepare certain parts of the animal, I would take them up on it. So last week when we did the when we did the pig testicles last week, thank you, Daz, for putting links up. I appreciate that so much. And anybody else that's helping, thank you so much. I'm working by myself, so I feel for everybody who does lives in here that does it by themselves. I respect you, mad respect. But when I did the pig testicles, I just did it. I just thought about, like, how would I prepare, I don't know, a piece of chicken? And so Abigail actually helped me with that. She's like, well, here, coat it in flour first and then put it in the panko. And then, and then I made a mistake because I didn't put like salt and pepper or anything on it. But honestly, again, it wasn't that bad. It was different. I think that if I was to describe it, it would be like an internal organ, like a heart, liver, something that has more of an iron taste to it. And the testicles had like a slight iron taste to it. But I'll say also that the description that Jocelyn gave was, which she was our guest if you weren't here last week, Broke Cowgirl, how are you? I meant to say hello to you. Yeah, marbled bacon bits. I see you. Let me get a drink here. My mouth is getting dry. I usually have Monica here so I can kind of bounce off of her. So here's a description of Jocelyn. This is what she said it tastes like. And I could see that. It actually did taste like that a little bit. All right, our OK Homestead, thank you so much for coming. I appreciate it. 12 Stones Ranch, hello. No, you didn't enter the wrong time. I'm still, we're going to have a guest up in a little bit. Monica is on vacay. So, yeah, so, seeing this comment here from our OK Homestead. So I talk about here in the live how it's harder when it's me by myself. I'm going to say that every time I do not like, I'm a very family oriented person. So I do not like to be home by myself. I think it's too quiet. It's boring. Now last night, because Monica had just wore me out over the past couple of days, picking her up from the airport, doing this, doing that. And I'm only going to say that because she's not in here. But when she comes in, don't say too much now. This is just us right now, right? This is us. But last night was a little different because I got this. I just basically fell asleep. And it was one of those nights where I fall asleep. And the moment I fell asleep, the dogs started going berserk. Anybody ever had that happen before? Where you're just like, you're all about getting to sleep because you're super tired and you're like, you know what? I'm going to bed early. I hit the sack. And as soon as I just feel my body rest in, here goes the dogs. The dogs are going berserk. And I'm like, what is going on? So I just lay there for a second. And then all of a sudden I hear it again. And while I hear the dogs going crazy, I go and I look and I see this Jeep going up and down the road. And I'm like, bro, that's what I usually do when they really irritate me. I'm like, bro, what are you doing? It's like 11:30, 12 o'clock at night, and you got sports exhaust for whatever reason on a Jeep going as fast as you can up and down the road. Let's take a break on that because I'm trying to sleep. So now backstory, I'll finish that part in a second. I want to give you a little background on why I'm so in tune with what's going on around me. So when we first moved in down here, right next door to us, mom and dad carved out a spot where they were going to build their retirement home. And during the process, the house was basically standing. It had a roof. It had I think it had the shingles, and it had like all the studs for the walls. Not sure about the shingles, but there was a lot of wood here, and there was a lot of drywall because they were in the process of moving to that part where they were going to start hanging drywall, start putting the brick up on the outside, all that stuff, right? So Harvey Black, hello. Geez, I can't even talk. Hello and welcome. Appreciate you in here. Drops, I don't know if I say hi to you, but certainly appreciate you being in here, man. So I'm in the house and I hear this, like one of those Can-Am four-wheelers, like those side-by-side ones that are jacked up real high. And then the people put, Heath, how are you, Frontier Survival? How are you? On the back of the four-wheeler, it's got like the big subwoofers and like the neon glowing lights. Like every time the bass hits, like the music the lights start flashing. And of course they had the bar lights, the super bright white LED bar lights up at the top and at the bottom. I mean, it was obnoxious, right? And because it was so loud, it was about 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning. And because we had just moved in, I was painting the house, and I had my oldest boy with me. And at the time, he was probably, I guess he was about 14, maybe 15. So anyway, it's so loud, and I'm like, what in the world is that? So I go and look out the window because we were newer to the country. It was that all the sounds were kind of new to us. And I noticed that this four-wheeler, like, turns off all the lights, turns off the music, but because it has that loud exhaust, I could still hear it. And I could see the reverse lights as it was backing down into my mom and dad's driveway. And I thought, wait a minute, what is going on right now? Who is this? And why is he on my property? So I say, you know what? I need to go handle some business. So I went on over there and I had something to protect myself. And I told my son, I said, stay back because I don't know what's going to happen. So there's a barbed wire fence between me and the guy, and I kind of yelled across the fence. I said, hey, can I help you with something? And this guy's like, he's like, oh, yeah, I'm just looking for property. And I was like, what kind of property are you looking for? He's like, oh, well, I want to build a house. And I said, well, there's already a house right here, as you can see. So what is it that you really need? And the guy's like, oh, I'm just trying to get an idea about, what the property acreage looks like. And I said, it's 1 o'clock in the morning. You're here looking at property. And I know that all this construction stuff is sitting over here. That doesn't look right to me. I would suggest that you leave. And so the guy tried to mull it over a little bit. Well, anyway, while I'm looking at this guy, I'm looking at the lady next to him. Let's see. Why is it? There you go. I don't know that I was wielding a garden hose. I think it was something a little bit more dangerous, but yeah, we'll go with the garden hose. I was going to whip him with the garden hose. Anyway, so this guy rolls out, right? He decides to go on. So he rolls out, and about a week later, Monica had found on one of the local Nextdoor apps or whatever that somebody had seen a similar description of this guy. Now, the interesting thing about this guy is he has some very, very distinct tattoos. And one of them was this round one that was on his forearm. And that was like the only one that was on there. And I'm like, you can't, there's nothing you can, it was so distinguishable or distinguishing. Okay. Anyway, so about a week later, we get a call from a local vet, which she's kind of like underground vet, meaning she doesn't like people to know that's what she does, because she's afraid that somebody would break into, and she's a legal vet. I mean, that is her business, but she does it off site. Well, anyway, So she had cameras in there, and sure enough, it was the same exact guy and woman that were in there. So I say that to say that last night, when I look out the window and I see this four-wheeler or this Jeep riding up down the road, and then all of a sudden I see them turn the lights off and drive into my mom and dad's driveway. Now it's a little bit different because dad's there. I'm not too terribly concerned, but why at midnight, 11:30, 12 o'clock at night, why are you pulling into someone's driveway with your lights turned off? So it turned out that it was okay, but from my angle, what I'm looking at, and I called over there to find out where everybody was, but that's why it's important to make sure you got protection, and protection comes in a lot of different means. But what I've trained my kids with is the dogs. Dogs are number one. That's the you let them go, and we always tell people, do not come on our property. Anybody that comes here knows, do not come here without letting us know that you're coming, because as soon as you step on this property, the dogs will come after you. And I've actually had a friend of ours that he's a very good friend of ours jump the fence to help me because I was up on a ladder. And as soon as he jumped into the yard, three of the dogs just circled him, man. They look like sharks circling their prey. And then all of a sudden when he went down, he was like, trying to talk to the one came up and grabbed him on the back of the leg. And so, the herd mentality, I've learned a lot about that over the last couple years, having so many dogs around here. All right. So we got Drops over here. He's just saying he's got it, right? 10 years of martial arts. He's got it. Pow. So yeah, nothing good happens at night like that. It's what, even when my kids started getting a little bit older and they would start going out, I would always tell them, when they first found out they had a curfew at midnight, a little earlier than that, when they were first, able to drive or whatever, 11 o'clock or whatever it was. And they would always be like, well, why? And I'm like, look, nothing good's happening after midnight. Okay. When the sun goes down, and that's biblical too, folks. When the sun goes down, trouble starts. So here's Jocelyn. Jocelyn's been here. She colored her hair, and Titus almost murderized her. She's bringing that word back. And until you heard my voice. Yeah. So Titus is no joke. And he's the one, I actually did a video on this. I hadn't released it, but I actually did a video of taking Titus out into public. So these dogs are farm dogs. Like there's no, they're just farm dogs. The only time that they leave the farm is when they go to the vet. And the last time that Titus went, I heard Titus got a little mouthy with the vet. So I think they had to muzzle him or something, because you just don't know. And look, I mean, the thing is that when you have a dog that's out in the country like that, what do you do to correct them? Right? I mean, because I don't want to correct them. I want them to protect the property. So, even when people get bit, I say sorry, but I don't get mad at the dog. I just can't. Sometimes, and I'm one of those people where I don't like the dog barking. I really don't. But there's plenty of times where something happens when I'm in the back of the pasture, when I'm in the barn, when I'm in the house, the dogs bark, and they're the ones alerting me. Case in point, last night when that Jeep was coming, they heard it before I did. So, want to share another funny story with you real quick before we get ready to bring up our guest. So this week, if you got to see this short, you'll notice that we got a new lamb. This lamb, the mama didn't make it. She was sickly, I guess you could say. And JB Conway, hello. Thank you so much for coming in. I appreciate it. Oh, wait a minute. I'm going to have to sidetrack for a second here. Had a blue heeler, a stumpy tail cattle dog, bred from healers and the farmers of Australia. And they are incredibly loyal, hardworking, but have a happy nature. Miss my girls. Hey, man, I'm going to tell you something. Titus he's my boy. That's all I can say. he's one of them dogs that you can just really, really grab a hold of and love, because he is gentle, but he don't play either at the same time. And he's saved me a few times, man, keeping me safe when I'm dealing with cattle and stuff like that. And heads up, tomorrow's video, I think you're really going to like this one. This one is like an impromptu, a bit dangerous. I'm very excited about it. Nick from Arizona Highland Homestead. Hello. Thank you so much for coming, man. I appreciate you. You're shopping at Tractor Supply? What's up, man? What are you getting? That's what's important. And turn me up while you're in there and tell everybody that I'm doing a show and we're talking about Tractor Supply. I'm just kidding. Anyway, yeah, so definitely difference between, and Titus too, Daz, I wanted to mention that what really caught my attention on that was the tail, because most people don't know about the stump-tailed Australian cattle dogs. And so that's actually what Titus is. He is a stump tail. And the people that we got him from, they have a long lineage way back. So Food by Faith, Garden to Table. Hello. Thank you so much. Love the name, by the way. Love it, love it, love it. Yeah, I see there's some. So quick story here for you. So when we're talking about the lamb, I'm seeing some people in the green room back here. We'll get the guests up here in just a minute. So we're going to go get the lamb, and the owner was kind of I don't want to say a panic, but she was really worried. And so we were like, yeah, hey, let's we'll go over and help. And hey, guess what? Monica was on vacation. Go figure, right? Oh, excuse me, she was on a business trip. And she calls me and she's like, hey, and she starts going right into it. She's like, oh, wait a minute. Let me start over. How's things going? And I was like, oh, that's so nice of her that she took time to ask me how I'm doing. And I'm like, yeah, everything's pretty good. It's busy, but it's good. And so she goes on to say, oh, so the neighbor had a lamb, and we may or may not be getting another one. I was like, wait, what? And so she told me what was going on, and in all fairness, I was like, yeah, all right, let's go. So Abigail and I went over there. So when we go over, we're going into the front gate, and there was this monstrous dog. When I say monster, I'm talking about the Great Pyrenees. Okay. This dog is a monster, and it's eyeing me up all the way to the driveway. Now the driveway is about 50 yards. Okay. 50 yards. That's a pretty good distance. So 50 yards down, I'm eyeing this dog up, and I told Abigail, I was like, look, open their gate, and it's an automatic gate. So I said, hit the button. As soon as I come in, hit the button again and just get that thing to shut, because we do not want that dog to come out, because we got to get back there to the neighbor so we can help. And she's like, yeah. Okay. So as soon as I start rolling in, and I didn't even wait for the gate to open all the way. As soon as it got like 45 angle where I could just like squeeze in with the car, I was trying to get in there, right? And as I'm going in, this dog like perks up. You can see him pick his head up, and he's looking at me, and I'm like looking at him. I'm like, he better not. Now I know this dog, so I'm not afraid of him. I know he's not going to hurt me, right? But I see him like perk up, and I was like, oh no. I'm like yelling out the window, Abigail, hurry up, hit the gate, shut it down. And as she's trying, she's like, I'm trying. Just as she's starting to close it, I see this dog going from like a walk towards me to a gallop. And then all of a sudden, this monstrous dog, and I'm telling you, he's probably about 120 pounds, right? He is running full speed. Now, for anybody who doesn't know, we haven't had any rain down here, or very little rain, a squirt of it, I would say, a couple weeks back. But it's been so dry that as this dog is running to me, all you see is a dust cloud coming off of it, because it's bouncing around and the hair is flapping, and it's just like this cloud of dust. It's like that character on what is it? Charlie Brown, the Peanuts. What's the guy's name that always had the dust clown around him? That wasn't Linus, was it? Somebody help me while I'm taking a drink. Anybody? Tasmanian Devil. Well, that's the Looney Tunes. I'm talking about Peanuts. Pigpen. There we go. Thank you. Yes, Pigpen. So this dude looked like Pigpen and run just hauling towards this gate. And I'm telling Abigail, shut the gate, shut the gate. And she's like, I'm trying. I said, don't let him out. And she does this thing like where she kind of like spreads her legs and puts her hands out like to the side to try to like, I don't know what she was going to do to the 120-pound dog, like running through, right? And this dog looked like a football player running at her, and he juked her. He went, whoop, whoop, and went right around her. And as soon as he went around her, he just like turned and ran up the road, man, and he was off. He looked like a greyhound. He was running so fast, right? So as he's running, I told Abby, I was like, get back in the car now. We got to go get the dog because you got the you back here dying. I got a little baby that they lost, and this dog of theirs now is running down the road. So I get in the car, and I mean, I'm flooring it to try to catch up to him. And I finally catch up to him, beeping the horn. So we get out, and I guess he just had to get a burst of energy out. So Abigail jumps out of the car, grabs him by his column. Uncle Al, thank you so much for coming in, man. I really appreciate it. It's good seeing you again. So Abigail grabs the collar, and I was like, just sit in the front seat and put him between your legs so he can't move. Well, again, not used to having a dog that size. She puts him into the front, not in the seat, but in the floorboard. And this monster like filled up the whole passenger side. And so Abigail's like looking at it and was like, shuts the door. She gets in the back seat, and so we drive all the way back around, and now the dog is in the car, and because the air conditioning's on and it's like full blast because it's like 1,000 degrees down here, the air is now that dust cloud, that Pigpen, as we were talking about earlier, that dust cloud is now translated into the car. So now it's dusty in the car because of the dog. And, of course, he's like panting like crazy. And I'm like, bro, I was at it again. I was like, bro. So, yeah, St. Bernards, it's equivalent to those. Yeah, they are some really, really big dogs. I want to say hi real quick to Lisa Colovi. Hello. Thank you, ma'am, so much for coming in here. Berkshire Farm. What's going on? Let's see. Who else we got in here? Yeah, these dogs. I don't know what it is with these dog stories I've got lately. But I'm going to tell you, it's like when it rains, it pours type thing. You know what I mean? Let's see. I think it's all the newbies that we've got in here. If you have come in and haven't said hi to you yet, I want to say hi. Appreciate everybody coming here. Yes, Miss Dawn Ray. So true. Dust Bowl and Slobber. Can't forget the Slobber. Awesome in the car, by the way, especially when they shake. Right? That's awesome. Love it. Did I say hi to Berkshire Farm? If I didn't, hello to you. So looking at the green room, it looks like my visitors are, I don't know what they're doing back there. I should just put them up just to mess with them because they're not even paying attention. I'm literally talking about them right now, and they're not even paying attention. They're having their own conversation. Okay. Are you there? Okay. I was talking to you for about 5 minutes. Did you guys notice that? No? Okay. Yes, we definitely had a full adventure. Food by Faith, Garden to Table. Love that name. Man, that's a great name. So I saw some folks in here talking about feed and things like that. And I'm getting ready to introduce our visitor, our guest for tonight. He's coming on a little bit early, but there's a reason for that. Well, I'll explain that in a minute. But what I want to say is, it's past your bedtime, Miss Dawn Ray. Well, I'm glad you came in here. Yes, Pigpen with Linus. Yes. But you want to see the guests. Okay. Well, I will bring up the guests. I'm going to say that the reason why this particular guest Oh, okay. All right. So I will introduce him now. He has been on here one time before. And the reason why I'm bringing him back is for two reasons. One is because he's a newer homesteader, and there's a lot of things that he's been doing that I want to ask questions about. But also, there's another reason, second reason, and I will talk about that in just a minute. So hang in there, Miss Dawn Ray. Please hang in there, and I will. Oh, let me add him to the stream.
What's up,
Cayce,
Eric?
what's going on? How you doing?
Good. How are you, Eric?
I'm doing good. Well, first question I want to ask you is, how's the internet?
It's looking decent, I think. I mean, how do I look?
Yeah. No, you look better, you sound better, and it even looks like you got a reasonable haircut now.
Yes, my mother cut this with a kitchen knife.
She was just tired of looking at it, huh?
Well, she said it was ugly.
Sometimes you need mom to be that honest. You know what I mean?
She did. She grabbed my ponytail and she yanked it forward and sawed it with a kitchen knife, and it was done.
Yeah. Well, unfortunately, I think everybody's not so happy that you're here, I guess. I don't know. Drops is a little disappointed.
Oh, geez, that's what I think too.
Well, we're so glad you're back. I wanted to ask a question, and I would ask this question if I had Monica next to me, because I don't know how much we're spending on feed right now, but this was something that was in the chat earlier, was about feed. So if she was around, man, I would love to ask her that question.
Oh, but hold on, Eric. Hold on.
What?
Monica!
Wait, what?
It's just on live, Destiny.
Wait a minute. Is that my wife is in your house?
Yes, Monica is in the Georgia.
Went through the ATL today. That was interesting.
That's good. You got to get closer to the mic, Monica. You're too quiet.
Can you hear me? I gotta yell like Cayce.
You know what? Actually, I don't even know why I'm asking for her to scoot closer to the mic. This is my opportunity. I had like 41 minutes of just me time.
Yeah, you literally had all that time to talk, and now Destiny don't want you to say nothing. She hears there.
You know, here's the thing. Ready? When he introduced or said something about, "Hey, Monica," I thought that was the name of the dog because she just immediately started barking.
No, she's just a diva. She barks at anything.
And I noticed she started barking as soon as you called her a diva.
She tries to get camera time. She's like a camera hog.
Yeah, I know the feeling. Every Thursday, I got you.
Hey,
so
look.
a lot of people right now are confused as to why Monica is not next to me, but she's down there next to you. Which is she on your right?
Left.
All right.
Okay, push it around.
Oh, we gotta go the other way. My big face in your way. There you go.
Living a rogue life. How are you? Thank you so much for coming in.
Hey, Carla.
Yeah. So
Carla said Carla said she was going to ask if I just left you. No, never, ever, ever, ever.
Yeah. So for those who don't know, Monica was on vacation again.
Yep.
So I think she just got back from vacation from last year, and then now she's back at it again.
No, I just worked. I just went from a work trip, came home for a hot second, got me a new baby animal, and then left.
You got what?
A new baby animal, and then left.
You didn't get nothing. I got it. Abigail got it.
Daz is a little nervous. He said, "Is this real life? What kind of mushrooms did I have for breakfast?" Hey, Dawn. Ooh, I like Casey's monitor. He's got this real big old monitor. Eric, we need to upgrade our monitor because this is a nice monitor.
Yeah, Eric.
Well, I can't see it. I'm not there.
I'll take a picture
again. Oh, okay, cool.
You're not with me on vacation again.
Yeah, I mean, what's the deal?
Here you go. Ready? Hold on. He's gonna show you the camera. Oh wait. Oh, Well, that's a bad shot of me. There you go. Look, that's a nice picture. Look at that.
Yeah, it's not bad. Oh, hey, that's me.
You said it's not bad. Oh my goodness. Okay, so are we asking Casey some questions? Can I push it down?
Well, so look, I wanted to bring up the conversation first, since it's not at the 9 o'clock hour yet. So technically, Casey, do you mind? Can you just come back in about 15 minutes?
Okay, I'm gonna go like discipline my child.
Hey, Casey. Oh, you know what? He actually beat me to it because I was getting ready to say, do your best Andale impersonation.
She said, hush, like real strong. I'm sure that we can find that.
Not my Andale. That never happened. Not my Andale.
We have exact moments on our last live.
I think I saw it. I'm supporting for you, Miss Andale.
Oh, yeah, Sharon has the baby.
Yeah,
Sharon,
okay, my child's gonna die today.
Yeah, and I want to mention too that Andale's dog stopped barking as soon as she corrected him.
He's gone. She hears the kids. They're eating dinner out in the kitchen in the living room, and he put her away so that she wouldn't eat off their plates and stuff. Because we just got in here at like 9 o'clock Eastern, and she wants to come see me because she's like, "Hey, girl, what's up?" I will, Ann. Yeah. I will definitely let you know, Miss Andale. I haven't had that scheduled yet. We don't know yet. Yeah, that's mine. Yeah, we're switching waters here because we switched sides. So anyway, our feed bill is like every 2 weeks we spend about, with all the piglets and stuff, we're spending about $180 on feed. That's with all the piglets and stuff. Now that will go down a little bit once the piglets leave because we've been buying a little extra feed. But that's also with a lot. I mean, we have 12 turkeys eating turkey feed. We have quail. We have a lot of animals. So, I mean, yeah, it's not bad. They definitely, feed prices have gone up.
182.
182 every 2 weeks.
Still.
That's, I mean, it's like $90. But I will say that since we've fermented the feed, we haven't been paying as much if we had to buy more. Once the piglets leave, we have 9 piglets right now. Once those 9 piglets are gone and we have 1 left, it's going to be a little easier.
You've been talking about that on the podcast for a while, of fermenting, huh?
Yeah, and we do.
All of us have been taking notes.
Yep, we ferment the feed. It's worth it.
So she says, I spend that in dog treats.
My dad does too, Carla. Yeah, my dad does too. My dad will go to Costco and get like every dog treat he can possibly get. And I was in Walmart 2 days ago with Caleb and Emma, and they were so cute. They were like, "Oh my gosh, I'm gonna buy this bag," and I'm like, "What?" And they were so cute shopping for these big bag of dog treats, and they have this little baby Frenchie that's like half the size of Destiny back there, and they're buying these big bags of dog treats. I'm like, okay,
$400 a month.
No, not them.
Don't get no idea.
Not them.
Don't get a single idea.
$400 a month. Yeah, so yeah, it can get pricey with some of the big animals, but you know, that's just approximate since the feed has gone up. That's what I'm thinking. Yeah. Yeah.
So I mean, and that's the thing.
It's a lot.
From a bag of feed, I know that I feel like last year we were right around the $11, $12 mark, right, on like layer feed or something like that.
So layer feed's about $17 a bag now. And
now, but I'm saying last year around this time it was about 12, right?
About 12, $12.50, yeah. And it's gone up. It went up like 50 cents, and then it jumped up another 50 or 60, and then it jumped up a whole like $1.50 or whatever. Plus Sean is eating the dog and chicken food and cat food. And so that's the thing. We have dogs. Our dog food we buy dog food once a month maybe, and our dog food costs like $45, $48 for a big 40-pound bag of dog food. And that's for 3 grown dogs. So, I mean, that's included in my feed bill, I would say.
So I see Dawn is saying that that her layer feed is $20. And yes, by the way, Dawn, Monica does guest appearances. So Casey he's paying for, I don't know. Did you tell him what the cost was for you to stop by?
Yeah, food and board.
Hey, we're charging the bill to Yogi Hollow Farm.
I'm just going to send her a thank you note ahead of time so that when she opens it, she's like, well, thank you for what? And then the bill will come afterwards.
She's so busy with piglets right now. She's not gonna hear none of this. So
Until she does the replay.
yeah, she can be so busy. She's got all them piglets, so unless she decides to keep them, and then she won't make no money.
I meant to. Where's Dropface Garden? Because I just saw that.
Washington State.
Because in Georgia, that's about the layer package.
22.
I looked at our feed store here in the small town because I was like, okay, Cayce, it's time to get some layer hens. It's time. And I was like, no, not for $22 a bag. I'll just wait.
Well, that's when you do it, you make sure you ferment the feed, and you start learning to do. You do fodder. You can do lay pellets. You can do all kinds of sprout your grains. Do more whole foods and try to learn how to get off of the. Yeah.
So before we get into that piece of it, I wanted to ask the chat, if you don't mind, maybe put in what state you're in and like a 50-pound feed bag of, I don't know, it doesn't matter. Just put what the cost is if you don't mind. If you're buying 50-pound feed bag of whether it's lay pellets or all stock, I'd be interested to see, because to see that it's $22.50 in Washington. I mean, my goodness, I don't even know. Sometimes though, I wonder if the costs of these things are increased so much because they don't want you to buy it.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing is that, well, I was looking at Grace and Fire made a comment and said the eggs are worth it cheaper than buying at the store too, because that's the thing. Eggs are going up too. I mean, things are fluctuating so much. You have to really weigh out the worth. Is it worth it to raise your food or just go buy it and depend on the store? But when the store disappears, then what do? Then you're stuck. I mean, right now he's still starting out. So it's one of those things where you take your time, you work with it, but oh my gosh, look at that. Was it Kentuckiana, Indiana, $25 for 50 pounds? Oh, that's crazy.
I mean, that's man, because
I know she sells eggs.
Glenda, do you sell your eggs? What do you charge for your eggs?
Because I know here in Georgia, we sell for about $10 a dozen. No?
Eric, we need to up our price.
Texas, $17 for y'all better be selling it for.
That's $17 for a bag of feed, I think.
Oh, I thought $17 for a dozen. I said, oh my word.
I'm selling my duck eggs for $5 for a dozen.
Yeah, so $17.75 up in Canada, which Scott, I'm assuming that's dollar. I mean, are you translating that?
What
to the dollar?
Do they not use dollar bills? And
no,
Canada has their own currency.
I don't know.
You think they want to run around with this paper money with all the American presidents all over it?
I don't know. Bye,
I don't know either.
We'll be praying for you.
Yes.
Bye.
Bye, Dan.
Our treasured home, Nancy, says, great seeing everyone. Time to get some shut-eye. Prayer request is the same. Thank you for the prayers. Have a great evening. Love y'all.
Thank you so much for coming in. Daz was rolling out too. He was here helping dropping links. So we really appreciate these guys so much.
Oh, there he is. Bye, Daz.
Let's see who else we got. Let's see. Houston, Texas, small family feed store, 50-pound feed bags, $12. And this, I think this is the thing too, is when you have these smaller feed stores like the mom pop shops, you're definitely getting a different type of cost.
Yeah.
Miss Dawn Ray, West Virginia, 50 pounds, lay crumbles, $20.
Yeah. You can still ferment the lay crumbles. You can ferment the lay crumbles. You can ferment the lay pellets. Even if you don't ferment them, if you just soak them and cause that expansion, that's still cheaper. You're still going to give them less than if you give it to them straight. Because there's a lot of waste when you just give them the pellets or when you give them the crumbles. I noticed mine waste them with the crumbles. So if you ferment it and you wet it down, they're going to get not only the coolness from the liquid, from the water, but they're going to waste it less.
I wouldn't really say that it's cooler, because if it's being fermented, it's heating.
It's water still. That's the thing. It's still water. It's still liquid. And but you ferment the feed, you can feed a lot less. We've been doing well with that. 6 bags of all stock for 3 full-grown pigs every 2 weeks. That's really good. That's what we've been doing. And then with the babies getting bigger, we've had to add to it. So otherwise, we'd spend a lot less.
So I see all the way over in Australia, Daz is, and he did a little further down in chat, clarified that this is 17 US dollars.
Yeah.
That he pays for a 44 pound bag of chicken food. So that's, it's a little off. So he would be paying a little bit, probably closer to the $19, $20 range to get it up at the 50 pound mark. But so Scott's saying that that's Canadian.
Thanks, Scott.
Money. Let's see. This is Trinity, Texas. What's up, Texas? Reppin'. $20 for 50 pounds starter feed. That's
Some of the babies, right? Can you switch them?
Yeah, that's a starter feed, which makes sense. You're paying for crumbles. You're paying for the little tiny pellet ones. I mean, $20. If you're paying 17 in Texas for the laid pellets, you're going to pay a little bit more for the crumbles. Usually they're a couple dollars more.
Don't you switch during a certain age from the
Yeah,
feed?
you can, or you can just feed them whatever. So it just depends.
Okay.
Because I mean, if you think about it, right? Your mama's out there and she's teaching them to eat all the bugs and all the natural stuff. So if I'm feeding lay pellets, she's gonna get them to eat whatever. I don't switch to starter just for a mama that's free ranging with her babies. And there's a dozen other, let's just pretend I have only a dozen other chickens. And I'm not going to change it up just for that one mama and her like 6 babies. Everybody gets the same pellet. So they just work together and they're fine. I don't change it up.
So I want to come back. I want to come back to this comment in a second from Jocelyn about the veggies. I want to first of all say hi to Misty Gilliam Henderson. Thank you so much for coming in. Jocelyn is in the chat where she belongs. Keep her over there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Nah, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. We had a good time last week. And then Carla said hydration, not chill. Yeah, and that's true. That is very true. But man, I want to tell you something. It's so hot now that when I'm opening so we keep all of our feed in metal trash cans, which by the way, Cayce, if you're looking for cheap, you always ask or look for the dented stuff. So we went to Home Depot with I know we fell into this by accident, but we went to Home Depot looking for metal trash cans. And the only ones they had were ones that were all bent up. And I looked at it and I said, you know what? I could fix that. It's for feed. All I got to do is to go on the inside of the rubber mallet, bang that thing out, and I'm good to go.
Yep.
And so I think they cut it off like half price or something because they knew they weren't going to sell it to, the fancy people living in, the.
And we got 5 of them. I think we have 5, right? Do we have 5 out there?
4 or 5, something like that.
4 or 5. So, and they keep.
Yeah, it keeps the rodents out. But what I was going to say was tonight when I got in there and I opened the lid, you could feel almost like steam coming out.
I bet. Oh.
So I wanted to touch on the comment that Jocelyn made because I think this is a great thing of thinking outside the box, and this is something that will truly cause people to maybe not necessarily, it may not work where you are, but how many places. And I was doing this the other day. I didn't have time to stop and talk to the guy. It was the produce guy at Walmart. And he was pulling the vegetables that had little bruises. They had little cracks in them. And what most people don't know is there's certain rules for vegetables and fruits to be able to make it to the grocery store shelves. If there's blemishes on it, they don't take them. And sometimes they get through somehow, but normally they won't take them. So they all go to trash. And what does trash mean? Well, that could be a bucket where it's going out to the dumpster, or it could mean a trash bag for you. And, it's like one thing that a lot of people know about is like coffee grounds, right? Like if you go and talk to the Starbucks, the Dunkin' Donuts, those kind of people, and you'd say, hey, I'm a local farm or I'm a local homestead or something like that. You can go in there, you take your own bucket, and every time they dump the grounds from coffee, now they won't separate the filter, but they're biodegradable, especially at Starbucks because they're super progressive, right? So they're saving the world while they're giving you coffee grounds. And so you can basically just tell them, and they will fill up the 5-gallon bucket. And because look, they would rather give it to you and have it go to compost or to a garden than for it to go sit in a landfill. That's from them. They've said that.
JJ gets a bag. I think last year or 2 years ago, Jocelyn was getting bags. Sorry, JJ and Jocelyn are the same person. I just call her different names depending on what I'm feeling like. Anyway, Jocelyn gets, they were giving her like a trash bag full of the Starbucks grounds. But if you go ask them, tell them you're a local farmer, make sure you open your mouth and tell them, I'm a local farmer. I live up the road. I'm really interested in getting the grounds for the compost. Can I have them? And when can I come get them? They will put them in the like a clear trash bag for you, and they will give them to you. Yes. But here's the thing. So Brookshire's is our local small, small grocery store where we live in the Hunt County, Kaufman County area in Texas. And they have them all over, I think, Texas. But find your local small groceries. Find your farmers markets. If they're throwing old stuff away, go to a farmer's market. Give them your card and say, hi, I'm another smaller, farm. If you don't have big animals, if you're only growing produce and you don't have animals, can I come pick up your scraps? Can I come get your garden scraps? I mean, why not? Especially like Gwen said, look, most stores won't give the veggies away here. And that's true. They stopped doing that a while back. So make those connections with your local farmers. Yeah. If I have animals and Cayce doesn't, and he's throwing scraps out, what's he going to do with? He's going to throw it to compost. Or if I come to him and say, hey, see him at the farmer's market. Hey man, do you have any animals? Because if you have local scraps, if you have scraps, I'm only up the road. Can I come get your composted stuff when it's ready? I can give it to my chickens. I mean, most of the time people aren't going to be like, oh no, that's only for my compost. I mean, most of the time people aren't going to care, and they're going to be able to give it to the animals. Most people like to help other people and love to bless them and give their animals a little bit extra. So, I mean, again, you have to open your mouth up and make those connections, because if you don't, that's on you. I mean,
see, I didn't even know that about the local grocery stores, because back in bougie town, city town, Kroger did not do that. I mean, you could ask Kroger, and I'm calling them out, sorry, but
Kroger.
There was even, I worked for Longhorns for almost 15 years, and even employees, you know how many potatoes and sweet potatoes were thrown out every single night, Eric? When I tell you probably 60 to 70 pounds of potatoes a night was thrown out because we either didn't sell them or they couldn't be sold to a customer. And you as an employee would say, hey, I'll take them. That looks fine. I'll make mashed potatoes. They're like, no, that's against policy here in Georgia. So it just had to go to the dumpster out back. So it's good to know that about the small. Yeah. I'm going to go into.
I'd be like, hey, if I take my 5-gallon bucket and stick it in the dumpster, could you just dump it out into my 5-gallon bucket in the dumpster? And then
look, from a business perspective, there is a sense of liability, and I get that. But I think a lot of those big time stores are like that because they're afraid of what might happen. Normally, it's the small mom and pop shops. Just like I got highlighted right here that her friend has dairy cows and the local donut shop gives her bags of old donuts. Okay. I'm going to tell you something real quick, Monica. We got to go figure this out, because you know how they say that pigs taste like what you eat them or feed them?
We should feed them donuts.
Right before we take them to the process. We need to put them jokers on a donut diet.
I'm going to tell you what.
They'd be living the dream of everybody.
I'm going to try to time it. I'm going to time it so that I can get all the going out produce, all the sweet, apples and peaches and all those things. And I'm feeding Peter all kinds of sweet, all kinds of sweet fruit, so that his meat's super sweet in November. I'm planning already.
Do you want to take some pears?
He still has a long way. Oh, you got pears? Well, I might take some pears to my mom.
They're starting to fall, though. No.
Oh.
So I don't know what that means.
They'll be rotten by the time I come
back. That sound, if you got a pear tree and stuff and too much that you don't know what to do with, it sounds like you need to get yourself some pigs.
No, you need to find a farmer and say, hey, I'm a new. He needs a network. Find a local farmer and network now and say, look, I have a bunch of pears that are hitting the ground. If you want, come get them. Pick them up off the ground for me, and you can have them until I get pigs, until I get my other animals next year. And if you want, we can barter for stuff. Make those connections now, because it's going to work out for him later to make those connections.
You grab your pears, and then you give me a full cow.
Boom,
I think that's an equal trade.
There you go.
Now, I do want to say this. Now, normally I agree with pretty much everything that Drops says. I will say this, Drops. All of our pigs are raised on dirt.
And they taste delicious.
And they do taste good. They don't taste like dirt at all. So I don't know. Or maybe we just like dirt.
We like dirt. God made dirt. Dirt.
Yeah. What's up, Black's Tropical Homestead? What is going on?
Hey, I'm in
So-
Georgia.
That's right. Monica's in Georgia. So that's the thing too. You know, when you're trying to think outside that box, you know, like you were just saying, you know, you can barter different things off, and to have all those extra pairs and willing to share, or even provide that and trading for meat. That's the least amount of work you could do is just trading for meat. Like, hey, I will give you all the pairs I have. Just give me 10 pounds of ham. Or
when you get some bacon, I'd love to have some. Remember me.
You know, here's the thing, and this is something that I learned from my dad at a very young age. Because when you're little, you're nervous, you don't know how to talk to people, right? Here's the thing. The answer is always no unless you ask. If you ask, you have a chance.
Hey.
And so a lot of times, you know, to be able to
Like from
seriously, you still cut me off?
3,000 miles away.
Hi, Mike.
Yeah.
Mike and Chelsea just got rid of their cows, their dairy cows.
I saw that on Facebook.
It makes me so sad. But you know what? It just goes to show you that sometimes change is hard. But no matter how hard it is, sometimes you have a season of life where you have to do something for you and for your family. And then you can go back to the other times. You know, you have to just go with the flow, get through it. And, you know, you do what's best for your family, even if you're a homesteader.
And the picture of her kids and the drop.
So
that was
sweet.
the cutest thing I had ever seen.
Oh, see, look, Drop said Phoebe will argue with about pigs. Well, that's the thing. Sometimes everybody likes things differently.
Yeah.
Wait, Bobby said Eric is by himself and Casey's got some girl as his guest. I said, that's Monica's some girl. Oh, hey, Byron, don't be doing that. He said, exercise that mute button, Eric. Look, I'm the one that remembers your name, not that man over there. I'm the one that remembers your name, 12 Stones Ranch, Byron, not him.
Well, I just exercised the mute button for the first time. This is awesome. Who said that? Who said to exercise?
Byron said that. Byron said,
wait, how did you unmute it?
Good story about 12 Stone Ranch that we had just talked about.
Yeah, I'm about trying to tell Eric to have you on our show, have you up. No more. Eric, Nick's Byron off the list. We're not asking him.
Wait a minute. I want to know how you unmuted yourself. I got to figure this out.
I hit the unmute button.
Thank you, StreamYard.
Look, I'm on StreamYard a lot because I make a lot of podcasts.
All right. Are you going to do a plug for your podcast again? If you haven't had a chance to check out Round the Hay Bale, make sure you do that with.
We have a live
with Monica, with
Monday,
Lisa.
August 1st. Hey, Monday, August 1st, we're having a live. Well, it's a live, and we're going to have garden checkups. You get to see our gardens. It's going to be so much fun.
We're giving away a lot of really cool stuff.
We're giving away a lot of stuff, Eric. You have to be in the chat on that one because Kelzheim has given away some serious business.
Did you see that big old thing?
They're giving this big old thing.
Oh my god!
It is awesome. And you know, you can use Kelzheim not only for your trees and your plants, but you can use it for your animals too. Just so you know. See? Thank you, Drops. Mwah. Right there. Scott, I'm on the side. Scott.
It's because I disagreed with the raising the pigs on the dirt. I know it.
See, that's right.
Hey, Scott,
Hey,
you were
Leanne.
supposed to be on my side. Hi, Leanne.
Yes, see Byron Thurston. Hey,
Hi.
Troy. Oh my goodness. Anyway, but yes, you should check us out. Round the Hay Bale podcast. We're going to be live on YouTube on Monday, August 1st. Boop, boop.
Boop, boop, boop.
I'm not sure what Pine Cone Fest is. Do you know what that is?
I don't know. I don't know what that is. Tell me about it, Carla. Send me an email about it. David Corey with Crop. Hey, how's it going?
Hey, welcome.
Leanne, is it your birthday? It's a week before my birthday. Oh my gosh, you're right. It's like almost a week to the day.
Happy
How's
birthday.
it going, girl? See, that's right, because my birthday is next Sunday. Her birthday is like right. She's only a little bit older than me.
I don't even
She's
know
like a
my
hot
glasses.
second.
I'm like trying to barely
He can't
read
see
this.
nothing. I'm just gonna keep reading it for him. Troy said, "Boop boop."
Boop boop is right.
What? I don't know what boop boop means.
It doesn't mean
It
anything.
does. It means watch Around the Hay Bale Monday, August 1st.
9 a.m. 9 a.m. Central. Wait, 9 a.m. Central?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, 9 a.m. Central. Right here on YouTube.
So let's talk about that for a second since we got Cayce in here. How's the podcast going? Give us a run. Oh, that's cute. You guys are drinking at the same exact time.
I've been driving. I hadn't had a lot to drink when I was driving because I don't want to have to pee every 5 minutes.
Hey, you see how that goes, Cayce? I asked you a question and Monica just starts talking. Now you know what I go through.
See, Eric, you have to remember, I kind of get used to it because we're on a podcast together. So the good thing, about the podcast is that we shoot live like this on video, but y'all don't see the video, thank goodness. But we can see each other to know who's about to talk. Night time. But yes, podcast is going really good. We're about to start shooting our 3rd season. It's crazy that we have been downloaded over 6,000 times on
That's
iTunes.
awesome.
It's crazy to think that people actually listen to our tomfoolery for an hour.
And we have sponsors like
Right.
what?
Baker's Creek, 4 Jars, Kelzyme, as we've talked before.
Because they're amazing.
We got about probably 12 more that we're not really gonna release until the 3rd season, but we're so excited.
Yeah.
I mean, because everyone's getting into the wanting to be more self-sustainable, wanting to live more of that homesteading lifestyle.
Yeah.
So I'm working, Scott. Scott, are you trying to be cute tonight?
Yeah. You can work. Come on, work on the mod. He wants to
I
mod.
thought he was trying to be like smart with me. I'm like, Scott, don't get started with me.
Yes,
on
you can
this
come work
live.
on our podcast.
Yes.
In the chat. That would be excellent, Scott. I feel you. I got you. That would be amazing, Scott.
See, that's why I have a translator here. From chat to translate.
Our podcast is called Round the Hay Bale. And you can find us on iTunes, Spotify, and Google Podcasts, plus I think something else.
In Tune with Alexa.
In Tune with Alexa. So you can yell for Alexa and ask to play our name. Yeah. So Round the Hay Bale.
Hey, Alexa, play Round the Hay Bale.
Don't do that. He might have an Alexa around here. Everybody's Alexas.
What's going on? I was about to do our commercial. Hey, Monica, do you know how easy it is to download Round the Hay Bale?
And I'm like, what? Really? That's so sad.
If y'all haven't heard that commercial, I'll post it on YouTube. It's actually funny.
Yeah. Okay. Troy over Bar Run Forge. I was in Columbus and I literally had no transportation.
No, that's not true. That's not true. You had a scooter.
Ready? Look, this is what happened when an old lady gets on a scooter. Look,
Yikes.
right
there. You get a tattoo while you were out?
I fell so hard on the scooter. And then I jumped up and I looked around and I was like, Tiffany, the lady that was with me, I was like, did anybody see me? She was like, just some people over there. I was like, are they laughing? She said, no, it's fine. I was like, okay, good. And then I got back on and I'm like holding the tears back. I'm like, don't cry. And I'm like, I'm fine. I'm totally fine. But it was really fun. We scooted around Columbus for like 20 minutes. Then we went to the North Market and it was so cool because it was like this little like downtown market.
You did that today or yesterday?
I did that on Sunday about 5 hours in Ohio before I went to take my plane. And then my plane got delayed over an hour. So I got home.
I'm sorry. Hold on. I gotta interrupt real quick. So Grayson Fire said their Alexa went off when I said play Round the Hay Bale. And then look, she posted this.
Oh no!
Don't pay the $1.99. It's not worth it.
Yeah. So wait.
So
Jesus! I have a biker chick. Yeah.
I want to say real quick hi to Zombie Prepper. How are you, man? I haven't seen you in a while. So glad that you're in here. Thank you so much. Yeah. And then we also had Daigo Crochet in here. So glad that you made it in here. Thank you. You may be noticing that Monica has switched sides of the screen that she's on.
Yes,
she's not on this side. She's on that side. Why is it? Have you ever noticed how complicated? Why is it so complicated on the screen to point the right direction? Have you ever noticed that?
Our brain doesn't get it.
So it's like talking to Eric right here,
Yeah.
but it's really a corner. Hold on, it's talking
Hey.
to. Wait.
Yeah, and I'm talking to Cayce and Monica right now.
Oh my gosh. What did you say? KK needs to work on his lighting, Eric. What do you think? He's got
Well, you know, not everybody can have the lighting. I got the skin tone for it. You know what I'm saying?
looks good.
Yeah. Hey, Troy, I just want to go on record. I want to go on record and say that when Monica said she was going to go visit Cayce and then possibly Andale, I immediately thought of you, buddy.
You better.
I thought, how could you do this to my buddy Troy?
That's
He drove 10 hours to come see us, and then you said, no, too bad.
I had
We're
6 children.
We're almost at 1,000 subs. We don't have time for people like this.
That's fine, Eric. You know what? That's fine. I will skip being home for my birthday. I will drive north to Maryland, see my pop, loop back through Ohio and see Nancy and Troy, and then I will come home maybe another week. How about that? Then you can have a whole nother week doing all the animals by yourself, and I'll be gone for my birthday.
You keep going. All these people are seeing exactly how you are now.
Do it. Look, right there. Troy said exactly 12 hours. No, yeah.
Maybe we just need to do a tour. I wanted to say hi real quick to Jen too from Good Times Homestead with Jen and Steve.
Because her place looks stinking beautiful. Because I did say Arkansas looked boring before, but it's not, because her house looks real pretty. So I'll be stalking all y'all. I'll just stalk you.
Oh, then Leanne said then you'll be stopping by hers.
There you go. Right there. On the way. Boom. All of it. Deal. My gift to Eric. Peace and quiet. Okay, well, I expect a birthday cake wherever I am on August 7th. So if I'm in your neck of the woods, I need a birthday cake. I do like buttercream, but I prefer chocolate, just so y'all know.
What about chocolate buttercream?
It's different. I like chocolate, maybe it's chocolate buttercream then.
Is it like chocolate on chocolate on
like
chocolate?
I like the chocolate Hershey's. Yeah, like that's good.
Oh.
Okay, so staying on topic here, we were talking about feed, focusing on Cayce. Going back, so the last time we had you on here, I think you had just purchased the property. And you were getting the homestead bug. The homestead bug meaning you were going to get chickens, you're going to get goats, you're going to get like everything all at one time, and then you were just going to totally just destroy yourself with the amount of work. And now, as we see with the conversation about feed and stuff like that, the cost of feed. So tell us, what kind of animals do you have?
Just Destiny.
Where's Andale? We need to get Andale up here to teach you how to teach that dog to hush.
So, you know what was funny,
You
Eric?
have a blind cat too.
I have a blind cat too.
Yeah.
A blind and deaf cat.
Yeah. Not 3 blind mice, but one blind cat.
One blind cat. But no, it was funny that you asked that question, Eric, because we were actually just talking about that on the podcast. How I was like, oh God, I hate to say it, but Eric was right. The last time we had a conversation.
Wait, why do you hate to say that? You should be privileged to say that, buddy.
So remember when we had the conversation and I said that it was our duty as good Southern Christian people to get dressed differently before dinner. I've been in the same outfit besides the Bland's Promised Land brand shirt, which is on sale. Y'all go get you some. But I've been in the same outfit for probably 4 days straight.
He don't get dressed for dinner no more.
I don't.
When you say you don't get dressed, we're not talking about like suspenders with no shirt on, right?
No.
He just doesn't wear his suit and tie no more.
No. 17 pounds, but let's settle down. if we're adults, let's put a shirt on, okay? The only person that needs to see you that way is your significant other, and that's my law. Okay, so we're gonna keep the shirt on. But no, I don't check. Y'all would be lucky if I truly like wash my hands and elbows good before I get into actually creating the food. But yes, no.
Wait, okay, wait a minute. Wait. So you're washing your hands?
Yeah, most of the time.
Okay, well, I was just going to say, look, you're getting close, because there's going to be times. Look, there's some of those days where you're out there working. Now it's a little bit different probably for where you are, but with Monica and I, we have a couple properties that we work at, and there's been times we're out there, working with Barbara or whatever, and we got dirt, cuts, blood, sweat, anything you can imagine, and it's just a good old just pat your hands on the jeans.
Yeah.
That's about all you get, because you're in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, there you go. There, Barbara on Forge has it. This is Cayce before homesteading. A seersucker suit and a glass of lemonade. He's like, "Well, mother, it's time to go eat. Shall we go to the dining hall?
After dinner, shall we retire to the living room?
Should we go out here and have an after dinner tea or drink of whatever?"
No, so I will admit, because I personally have only been full time in the homestead since May. Yeah, really, probably end of April. I think.
Yeah.
I think is when we were shooting the podcast and I started moving on. But getting a homestead and starting up, and that's even why I had to take the whole week off of social media, period, is because I do declare. I raised my pinky. That I think a lot of people, like myself, if it wasn't for having friends like you and Monica and Lisa and Ryan and Papa Jim and Alicia telling me, "Cayce, jump out of this fantasy you think it's going to be like going into a homestead." I think people go into it thinking, "Oh, it's going to be like it is on Pinterest. It's going to be beautiful. You're sitting watching the sunset and everything's great." But really, you hit 7:00 and you smell, your fingernails are dirty, you're cut in multiple places. You have bug bites in places you didn't know bugs could get to on your body. Yeah. You have sweat dripping down.
You have neck beads. Have you ever seen neck beads? The dirt ring right there in the crease of your neck.
No, the mosquitoes are getting them before I get
I get what's called. So our friend of ours, his name's Gary. He comes up here. He says, "Oh, do I have neck beads?" He speaks banjo very, very well, and he's like, "Do I have neck beads?" And I'm like, "What's a neck bead?" I'm like, "We call it dirt." He's like, "It's called neck beads because it looks like little balls of dirt." And I'm like, "Yeah, neck beads." It's gross.
Well, did you know? I didn't listen until the other night. Never spray your face with the bug spray.
What were you
not?
Because I don't want mosquitoes in my face when you're in the garden. So I did it, and I'm walking out, and I'm drenching in sweat.
No, it's going to get in your eyes.
It did. And so I'm pulling tomatoes. I'm like, oh. And now my garden, for those who follow me, is a very long way from the house. So it's not like you can run back. Now, I can try to run back.
You need to wear a bandana like Eric does. Like Axl Rose. That's what catches all that sweat.
Oh, let's see. That's why I cut my hair up, because my hair kept on.
It keeps it out of your eyes. He don't do it to look cool or hide his forehead. He does it.
It's not about coolness, Cayce. You haven't figured that out yet. That's why you don't worry about showers or changing clothes anymore, because it's not about what you look like. You got work to be done.
Well, I would say that I had to clean my head.
Oh yeah, the wrap. You need to get rid of no wrap.
But it doesn't work.
No, the handkerchiefs. Them cheap $1 handkerchiefs at Walmart.
Well, you know that one of my subscribers called it my Aunt Jemima headband. So
good thing we're not monetized yet. We'd be taken down for that.
No, I think I said it on Lisa's too, and she wasn't.
Well,
yeah. Look, if you're sitting, you got time for work. That's true.
Mm-hmm.
Well, speaking of Cayce's garden, though. Can I ask him a question about his garden?
Oh yeah, you can ask questions. I mean, you're sitting right next to him.
No, so he doesn't have animals. So, okay, Casey, so my question for you is, if you could go back and tell your winter homesteader one thing, okay, yeah, about your spring or summer season, what would you tell yourself? If you go back and talk to your winter self, what would you tell yourself?
Good question.
I know, right? I was thinking about this on the drive.
I would tell myself, and I actually did a video on this,
Ooh.
is to give myself grace. Because when you go into homesteading, when my winter older Cayce, he was like, I'm gonna have this 3,000 square foot garden, and then I got my 3,000 square foot greenhouse, and I'm gonna do the corn patch and the pumpkin patch, and literally you can't get everything done the first year because it was so many years since the woman had actually, who sold us the property, took care of the soil and tilled and amended, all that kind of boring stuff that nobody wants to hear us talk about. But it's so important for your gardens that it got to the point where I didn't have enough time in the day to till all of it. And then I got down on myself. I was like, well, Cayce, why doesn't your garden look like Monica's? Or Cayce, why doesn't your garden look like Ann Dale's? And you have to go into it saying, or why doesn't your garden look like 3,200 square foot like Leanne's?
Yeah, right.
But you have to give yourself grace and tell yourself, you can't compare yourselves to people you watch on YouTube.
Exactly.
It's the garden that fits you, your needs, and your family's needs. And you gotta give yourself a little bit of credit. And that's what I would tell myself is give yourself credit and don't try to be somebody else on YouTube. But be yourself. Do what's best for your family, what you eat. I mean, I was growing stuff, Eric, that none of the family even eats.
Well, that's what people always ask me. They're like, you live in Texas and you don't grow okra? I'm like, no, my people don't eat okra. I'm not growing okra.
Oh, see, we do.
See, nobody eats okra. My people, but I won't make it. But the thing is if your people won't eat it, don't grow it.
Right.
Now, every now and then it's fun to try something new. I mean, my family doesn't really love sweet potatoes. So I grow butternut squash and I love it. I love it. And I'm getting my people to slowly like it. They don't. I love
How do y'all
potatoes.
live in the South?
I'm
How do
telling
y'all live in the South and don't eat no sweet potato?
Stop yelling at that dog, man. She ain't done nothing wrong now.
our children in the other room.
I was about to say, that dog, she actually eats sweet potatoes.
Hey, the organized pineapple, how are you? Yeah, so that's the thing. Oh, there you go. Leanne said, you have to be jack of all trades and master of none. You have to know much.
Do the butternut actually, does it like compliment?
Butternut is so good. It's not as much like a sweet potato. It's definitely good, and we love it. We have a bunch of it, and I'm excited. I brought one for you. I know. I brought one for you. I brought one for my mom. I know. I'm excited.
What did you bring?
I took a butternut squash so I can give it to Cayce, and then I have one for mom because I know you like. We have like 8 of them in there on the floor.
Do y'all get like sweet potatoes like with a pie? Could you do like a butternut pie?
No, you take. I put them in. Okay, so I cut them up in little. I dice them up, and I put bacon grease in my skillet, and I fry it up in some bacon grease. Now I love to eat it because the only way my people really like it is if I make it with like fried apples. So I make fried cinnamon apples in one skillet, some fried up butternut squash in the other skillet, and then I make some what is it, Eric? The pork sausage, and I'll make pork sausage links in another skillet, and then we kind of eat it all together. We don't put it together. The kids keep them separate, but if you eat this, the pork sausage with the butternut squash with the fried apples, it's so good. It's like sweet, but not too sweet, and a little bit, and it's how I get them to eat the squash. It is so good. And you can always add butter and stuff to it. It's good. Don't even try to tell me it's not good.
The thing for me, and it's probably a lot like this for the sweet potatoes, is I think it's probably more the consistency that's a little bit weird for me.
The consistency? Yeah, so it's definitely different. He likes regular potatoes to a certain point. I mean, he doesn't even eat regular potatoes hardly ever because it's just starchy. But my kids love regular potatoes.
Like baked potatoes?
Yeah. Okay, so I got to tell you, Eric. So Cayce made this taco bar, this nacho bar for the kids. So excited. The kids were excited to eat tacos, eat real food because we kind of just snacked today. And, now for those of you who don't know, obviously we have a lot of kids. And I brought 7 of my kids with me. And so the youngest is 6, and he is the
Eric's
most
twin.
he is the most attitude of everybody. Like if he don't like something, he will straight up tell you he don't like it. He's so much attitude, but he loves sour cream. Well, Cayce has the Hoosier Hill Farms powdered sour cream. So you can
A
reconstitute
must buy.
it. It is so it's really good for your prepper pantry if you want something that's going to be long term. And he reconstituted it just with water.
It's 3 parts water, 5-part powder.
3-part water, 5-part powder. You reconstitute it. It's called Hoosier Hill Farm, and you can get it on Amazon. And he got that and made it, and I put it on Ezekiel. I didn't tell Ezekiel. I was like, "Hey, Mr. Cayce made sour cream for you. Do you want it?" He was like, "Yeah." I put it on his nachos, and I'm like, "Please like it." And he like put his finger in it. He licked it. He was like, "It was pretty good." I was like, "Yes," because this 6-year-old could literally eat sour cream with a spoon. Like, it's disgusting, but he loves it, and it passed the test. I was very excited.
That's awesome.
And
so,
side note, Eric, I was just gonna say, me and Monica planned this off camera because she's like, "Don't say nothing when we get there until people are eating," and they've eaten it. They've eaten it, and it's been done. But as I was preparing my prepper pantry, I found what was a taco Mexican meat substitute that was made from vegetables. That was freeze dried from Augustin Farm. And now I tried it, and I'm very picky. I have the palate of a 5-year-old.
Yeah, he's like chicken nuggets, ranch. That's what he eats.
About it. And it was good. And I was like, I want to see if your kids would like it. Mine was like, "Don't say nothing until you let them eat it."
I mean, my kids are like ground beef. My kids are like grass fed beef.
I think
like
you said meat snobs.
Yeah, they're like meat snobs for real. They went to town. They went to town on this, so they were eating them some taco meat. So I'm like, I'm not saying nothing.
Can I go back to this comment real quick? What is cashew cheese sauce?
Okay, so cashew cheese sauce is a substitute for people that can't have dairy. It's like our cashew ice cream that we get for Elijah. So cashew cheese, you make like a nacho cheese sauce with cashews. Good. It's really good, actually. It makes a really good comparable cheese sauce for non-dairy people. So yeah.
So just out of curiosity, like, is this like a thing? This little combination of chips, cashew cheese sauce, watermelon, and pecan pie?
Watermelon's good anytime.
Right. And pecan pie.
Chips and cheese. I mean, yeah. I mean, I'm not a big pecan pie fan, but I'll take watermelon and chips and cheese any day.
How are you
I can't.
In the South again. Okay. We've already gone through sweet potatoes that y'all don't do. And now
I like sweet potatoes. I like sweet potatoes. I like sweet potatoes. It's just that, yeah. Yes, spicy pickled. See, I haven't tried pickled okra. I'm a little worried because I heard it's slimy.
Like okra and tomatoes.
I heard okra's slimy if it's pickled. Is it?
No, okay. So my family does okra, but I don't do okra.
See, because it's furry. I don't want to eat furry food.
No, it's the consistency. That was sweet potatoes is the consistency. Unless it's deep fried so hard that it dries it out.
Yeah, maybe fried.
Then I'll try it.
Yeah, maybe like super crispy okra. I can't do slimy. No. I don't even do slimy pickles. I need like a crisp. -2 Texan points for pecan pie. Mm-hmm. I don't call it pecan. See, look, Monica's from Maryland.
Maryland.
Yeah, I don't.
So she thinks that the pecan pie is bad.
Bad. It's not
so,
good.
And she never had buttermilk pie. I'm like,
I've never had buttermilk pie.
Eric, have you?
No, he has not. He never had no buttermilk pie.
No. Well, I was actually just talking to my coworker about this the other day. So he's an older gentleman. He's getting ready to retire. And we were talking about, for my grandparents, whenever I went to their house, they always had buttermilk in the refrigerator. Always.
Because she made fried chicken too.
Well, yeah, I mean, buttermilk biscuits, the chicken. I mean, they just used it for so many things. And nowadays you don't really see it a whole lot. I'd be interested, for the folks in here that are cookers, like Leanne, and I think I just saw Kettle Kitchen in here.
Hey, Tony, I'm visiting.
Hi, Tony.
Okay, yeah,
See,
but I mean, the thing is, I remember as a kid that I would get the buttermilk out and pour just like a little bit in a cup because I don't really know how to describe it. Yeah, cornbread. I guess they make cornbread with buttermilk as well. But I remember just a little bit because you can't. I mean, you can't drink a lot of it, but
So
it's
let me
got.
tell you, this is a prepper secret for having buttermilk in your pantry. Yeah.
I do have powdered buttermilk from them.
Well, see, I don't even have because I just buy the regular milk powder.
And then you make buttermilk?
So it is 6 ounces of water, 4 tablespoons of the milk powder, 1 tablespoon of vinegar, and that is buttermilk.
There you go.
So you can make
You need to do a quick little 60-second short on that, Cayce.
I know.
That'd be a good one.
I know.
Just saying.
Yeah,
Do it
so
tomorrow. And I can record you tomorrow. I'll put it on my channel quick.
So I want to real quick. I was going to say hi to Chuck and Belinda. We didn't say hi to them when they came in earlier, but so he said my dad likes to crumble cornbread in his buttermilk, and then
I've heard of that. I've heard of that.
Yeah, and that was actually, and then Carla had responded back: a glass of buttermilk, crumble cornbread in it, and eat with a spoon. And I had heard, when I was talking to that older guy at work, he was telling me about that, and I had never heard that. I've not seen that, but there was definitely a lot, with mom's mom that she always had in there. And I'm not really sure if dad's mom had that or not, but so anyway, and Dale's asking for that video, Cayce.
I'll make sure he records it. We'll record it before he leaves so he can put it up this week for you, and Dale.
Oh, so
I'll be his camera girl.
So
yeah,
now is that what it is with buttermilk? Is there vinegar in it or something? Is that why it does have that little bit of a sour taste? I didn't know that.
And it separates. It's kind of like when you do cheese, you have to separate the curds, and a vinegar or lemon juice is what separates it. And that's the difference between milk and buttermilk, is the separation. And the acidity, I guess, from
that's good to know. I'm
sour milk. Yes, it's called sour milk.
There you go. Yeah. So you have sour milk. I left you a half a gallon of sour milk on the counter, Eric. So just put it back in the fridge. It's called buttermilk now.
So yeah. So here, funny story. Ready? I come home and we're already talking about, Monica was trying to get all this stuff done for me, trying to make it easier for me. So every time I turn the corner, there's things that wasn't done, right? And one of them that would have been super easy to do was dump out this milk. Now, the night before they left, somebody had acknowledged that the milk was bad. So all they had to do was dump it out, right? And I mean, I can't tell you how many people. So even the 20-year-old was getting ready to use it. And of course, he's got his earbud in and he's watching something on his phone because, the world would come to a quick end if he didn't have his earbud in and watching something while he's making cereal. Don't know. But because he's so oblivious to the fact that anything else is going on around him, he's got, it takes him like 5 minutes to make a bowl of cereal because he's focused on his show. So it's like he gets the bowl out and he's like looking off to the side. And then he gets the cereal and he's kind of like just shaking it barely. Right. And then just as he's getting ready to grab the container of milk, Monica was like, hey. And he's like startled, even though we're sitting right there in the room. Right. And she's like, don't use that milk. He's like, well, why can't I use the milk? I'm getting ready to make cereal. She's like, because it's bad. And so he like smells it or whatever. And he's like, yeah. So anyway, so it was already smelling bad and they left it for me.
No,
on the counter.
No. So when he was getting ready to use it, there were dishes in the sink. I thought, well, it's really not bad. It's just starting to go gross, right? So I was like, well, it's not really bad. I could totally dump it outside and mix it with some pig feed and the pigs will eat it or the chickens and ducks will eat it. It wasn't like bad. Like it was just starting to kind of smell funk. It was just not for pig people.
Well, the milk doesn't really go bad.
Well, look, so here's the thing, ready? Here's the thing.
Still. So I wanted to wait until the dishes were empty and I sat it next to the sink and forgot to dump it before we left. That's mine.
Can I, because there's a comment I wanted to.
Milk doesn't go bad. What is it?
Well, this was the comment right here.
No,
so yes, I know it's a substitute, but it's very comparable to buttermilk, to where my grandfather even used to drink that same. So I know, yes, to be technical, it is not the exact same. It is a substitute, but it's very close to it.
You can say that in your videos tomorrow.
And I will. And also, I'm saying that milk doesn't go bad. You know, if your milk's starting to go bad,
Just shake it real good. No one will notice.
no, you can use it for other things. Like, you can use that spoiling milk to make farm fresh cheese.
What? No.
And then you have some feta cheese in your fridge.
No, it's
I'll send you the
pasteurized
video.
milk.
I use pasteurized milk to make my cheese all the time. Yeah.
You might want to check dinner.
He's like, I cream. I made fake veggie meat. I made
Fake cheese.
fake cheese. Yeah, no, I
All right,
wasn't.
so-
Yeah, no. If it wasn't, I eat it. The pigs usually don't
So
eat rotten. We don't really give them rotten.
No, so here's the thing though, back about the milk. So I was out trying to deal with the rabbits and get water containers, because that was another thing that wasn't gotten, was containers that didn't have holes in them. So I had to go and find something. And I was like, I'll use the container that's sitting on the counter in the kitchen
No.
by the window where the sun comes in and or it gets warmer. So I'm like, I'm just going to dump this out, because it was just last night, right? So I take the cap off and I go like this, and nothing's coming out.
Ooh.
And it's a half a container now. So I'm like shaking it. I got to shake this thing to get all the cottage cheese out of it. And then I was like, wait a minute, milk doesn't actually go bad. I'm going to put it in a bowl, put a little pineapple with it, and call it a day.
She said, look, Leanne said you can use it for fertilizer, 1-to-1 ratio with water for tomatoes.
Or you can use a fabulous product called Cayce.
It's really good for your
And
tomatoes.
you can use promo code HeyBale for 10% off of your purchase.
And you want to, trust me.
You do. I'm telling you. Did you know my peppers were looking so bad and sorry in my garden? I went and just sprinkled at the very base of the peppers. The next morning after it rained, I came out and I could see maybe about 6 flowers on every single
That's because
one.
you said it rained. See, I'm wanting to try to use it. Now, she said we can use Cayce even during a drought, and it won't startle our vegetables.
But with the water.
Yes, with the water.
Yeah.
So I'm going to, when I get home, I'm going to be sprinkling everything with the Cayce that I have left over. And then I'm going to,
Carmen.
hey, Carmen. And then I'm going to do it that way. Carmen did a video about monetization, or she did like a little post or whatever. And she said her first month of monetization, she's made $67. Isn't that awesome?
Very nice.
That is awesome.
That's very nice.
Feed, girl. Because we were just talking about feed. It's so exciting.
All right, so you made me lose my train of thought.
What? No, never. So Cayce said that he would tell himself to give himself some grace. He's got a good garden going. I'm excited because I get to see it tomorrow. I'm super psyched. There you go.
That's what I was going to ask. So right now, Cayce, over here in Texas, because we've gone so long without rain, and it's so hot, that there's actually pasture fires that are starting from hay balers.
Yeah, they
That
can't.
while they're baling hay, it basically ignites the hay, and it causes pasture fires. So that said, have you what's the deal over there in Georgia? Are you all having rain issues? Is it dry? Is it wet?
And I hate
It's
to say,
green here.
I was about to say,
Wait,
I hate
why
to say
is
it,
why is
so
he
many
looking
places-
why is he looking at you like you just got there?
well, no,
It
because we
was
just
green.
talked about it.
It was
yeah?
beautiful.
We have had rain. We have not had. Now, at the very beginning of the summer, like around early June, end of May, we were having a terrible, terrible, terrible drought that was killing almost everything in my greenhouse and everywhere. I mean, because we had water restrictions, we couldn't. And see, I haven't learned how to be a rebel on that yet. Like when they say you can only water twice a week, I'm like,
They just
Mom,
started.
we have to do it. We can't water.
They just started with
But-
that at our house
Oh,
this
really?
week. Mm-hmm.
Oh,
And
now I don't
it's
listen.
every other day. Well, we have water stored up, so I'm all like, whatever, dude, you can't stop us.
Yeah. But no, it's great here, Eric. I mean, we don't have any water stuff. I'm very, very grateful that all of my cucumbers have gone to meet Jesus because I am over cucumbers. I am over harvest. I think What did Mom? I think Mom said that she weighed and all the stuff because she's been keeping tally. It's 675 pounds of cucumbers.
Did you
We've
hear that?
gotten-
Hey, Rebecca,
Wow.
675 pounds of cucumbers. That's insane. That's a lot of pig food right there. Because I'd be like, nope, don't
What
do
do
the
you-
pigs.
So what are you doing with all the cucumbers?
Giving it to your wife to take home.
My mom's gonna be getting some serious cucumbers. No,
600 pounds of them?
he made a bunch of pickles. How many jars of pickles did you put up?
58.
58 jars of pickles. And relish.
And then like 12 relishes. And then I've been doing grocery bags, and I've been like going to neighbors and being like, hey, you want cucumbers? Great. See you later. Nice to meet you.
Eric, his neighbors though are like down the road though. There's like nobody around. This is a good murder zone. So we not be watching no murder shows while we're here.
No, I don't.
It's like out in
My
the
mom
boonies.
does. My mom likes
No.
to watch the ID station. And I'm like,
Mhm.
Mom,
This is
we
not
live
the
with, like,
place.
nobody.
This is not the place to be watching the ID channel. Just saying.
No.
We were driving down the road. I'm like, there's nobody around here. And I told Abigail, I said, this is where people get killed and dumped. Oh yeah.
Oh,
How long are they?
How long? No, they're.
How are they? Chinese long
Okay.
noodles.
They are so delicious. I have a bag of frozen ones. Just keep it
Ooh.
frozen. Because you and Eric need to try it together and
Never
talk
tried
about
them. Ooh.
it. They are so good. So they probably get to about 25 inches.
What?
They're long. They're like this, and they're purple.
I've never tried them. That's awesome.
But
Where'd you
you
get it from? Did you get it from Baker's Creek?
No, I got them from Glenda.
From
Grace
Glenda?
and-
Oh, I think I
she
did
sent
see
me
you
those
post that.
seeds, and I was like, okay, I'll try them. So I
That's
harvested
awesome.
all of them, Glenda, and then the whole 7 plants of them was kind of looked like they were going out. But I went out there today, and they're all new flowers on there. So I'm about to get another round of
Yay!
them.
That's
They're
awesome.
so good, so delicious. But I'll send you and Eric
awesome.
some home that are frozen. Just keep them
Ooh.
frozen.
Glenda's got Chinese long noodles all the way down here. That's awesome. Oh, that's so
They
cool.
do. They are very prolific.
I'm excited because I have pumpkin seeds that you sent me, and I'm planting
Oh,
them.
yeah.
I think I'm gonna put them rogue somewhere. Like I'm gonna
You
plant them
should,
somewhere and
because
see what
the
happens.
blaze, those small ones. They get
Yeah.
more about that.
Oh, I'm so excited. It's fixing to rain all
Well-
night and tomorrow. Oh man, we need some of that rain down in Texas. Oh,
Y'all do.
we do. It's bad. I heard they don't can well though. Do they can well? Carmen, have you ever canned your yard long beans? Do you just like cut them up like chunk
Now,
them?
I did can them,
You
but I
did?
pickled them.
Okay.
I'll let you try some. They're in the fridge.
I've never tried pickled
Um,
beans, but I want to try them. I've
See,
never.
I
tried
do
'em.
pickled green beans and asparagus.
See, I've never tried pickled green beans, and I didn't want
Peppers.
to wreck my green beans, so I never did it. So I just
They're
I just
so
froze
good.
them and ate them.
So good.
Oh, I'm gonna try.
Oh, Erica's trying to talk.
Are you trying to talk to us?
No, I was so Barry jumped in here and because he had texted saying that he wasn't able to comment, I guess. So I don't know if somebody timed him out or something. But
blocked him.
anyway, I was working on that while you guys were.
My brother-in-law.
I was trying to figure out how to do it because I don't even know how to time people out.
We'll keep going until the frost.
That's what she told me. I was texting with her.
That's awesome. Ooh, I'm excited. Oh, Leanne made a batch of jelly beans 2 years ago and didn't care for them. See, I feel like if I'm gonna make jelly beans, I feel like it would be better like cold. Like if I opened them, I would need them cold, right?
Oh, that's what I only do. I always
feel
put them in
like-
the refrigerator first.
Yeah, I feel like it would be cold. Yeah, water restriction stage 2.
And
It's
what
rough.
is the thing
Yeah.
where you have cheese on it and the pickled stuff? The charcuterie?
Oh, the charcuterie?
Yes.
Charcuterie board?
That one. That's what I like to put them on.
You could make a fancy charcuterie board. 31 has a new charcuterie board coming out in fall, just so you know.
Check me and
Wow.
Monica
Okay.
on Facebook. We have great deals on that. Sorry.
Yeah. Gotta call tonight, guys. Start early. Don't you punch a time clock? Farmers don't. Oh, who doesn't punch a time clock? Farmers don't. Yeah, they don't. They just keep working and working and working.
Especially when their wives and family go on vacations.
Hey, you know what? We were up so early this morning, and I'm like,
Oh.
I'm gonna be like losing a whole hour of my life today. And before I knew it, boom, it was 6 o'clock. And I'm like, what time is it? Abigail's like, it's already 6. I'm like, ugh, just lost an hour of my life going into Eastern time zone.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, what did she say? Wait, I know it was not me time out. Carmen said we eat red noodle beans, yard long beans, raw all the time. My kids eat them as soon as they see them.
Yes.
Her kids are like the most natural, crunchy little kids. They're so cute. I just love them. They're like
Was that offensive? Are you supposed to be calling people crunchy?
they're crunchy in a good way, like
I thought you were talking
natural.
about the beans. I was
No,
like, yeah, they are crunchy.
No,
and good.
Carmen's kids are like such the like perfect little farm kids because they're all like, I'm gonna eat this right off the vine. They're like so stinking cute. I mean, seriously.
Love following Carmen.
I
and
know.
her kids on her post. I'm just like, there was a feel.
I know.
Oh, God, it
Our
was
charcuterie board
good.
is basically a large Lunchable for adults.
Yes. Right.
Hey, more importantly, how did they even know how to spell charcuterie? If you put a gun to me, telling me I better spell it right, you can forget that.
Glenda has autocorrect somewhere. She just autocorrected that mess. She looked it up on the side and then brought it in here. Spelled charcuterie right.
Or what's that thing? It's called like spell it or something that will type it when you spell it.
Do you have that?
I
You
had to
need
at
that.
my new job. She told me that was the one thing. She was like, "Can we get your spelling together?" Sorry.
We used to say crunchy with the youth group like 15 years ago. Hey, use you crunchy, mommy. See, look, crunchy, natural minded. It's true. Those little people are the most adorable little people. I love it so much.
Oh my gosh.
Yep, they're gonna lead the path for Jesus in the future. Cute little kids. Oh my gosh!
Yeah,
Look,
I'm with Leanne. I don't know if I thought it was charcuterie.
Charcuterie.
Wait, char? What are you even talking about? Now you changing it again?
Charcuterie.
Where was it?
Charcuterie. Look, she said, I don't know how to say it properly. I used to say chatteray.
Well, you heard me. I
Charcuterie.
don't even know what I told you when I said it.
There's some other stuff people like to call it. It's crazy.
Charcuterie.
Charcuterie.
Is it a sha or a cha?
It's char.
Char?
Charcuterie.
Char.
Look, all I know is it's for fancy people. That's all I know. Oh, here we
Kettle
go.
Kitchen. Actual. Yeah,
Thank
there you
you.
go.
Yeah,
Charcuterie. There you go.
So let me tell you a funny story about charcuterie. So we were in, and this is a family-friendly story, Ari. Don't worry. We were in, I think it was North Carolina, where the Biltmore House is.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
North Carolina, right?
Yep, North Carolina.
And they do a lot of the vineyards there. And this is before I had actually decided homesteading was for me and eating more vegetables. So we went to the restaurant, and my aunt and mom were like, "Oh, we should get the charcuterie board." I was like, "That don't sound good at all. That just sounds bad." And they're like, "It's a bunch of cheese and pickled veggies." I was like, "Even worse. How was that a meal? Like, how was that a meal?" And then we got it, and it was this big, gorgeous. I wish I had a picture. It was gorgeous, but it was salamis and pepperonis and
They make salami
cheese,
flowers.
and all the different veggies and spicy mustard. It is amazing.
See?
But if you don't like good cheeses, don't get a charcuterie board because it's not like the sharp cheddar from Kroger. Okay, that's not what's going to be on that charcuterie board.
It's going to be the stinky cheeses.
Yes.
It's going to be them stinky ones.
It's
Eric loves cheese, and his parents love cheese, and it's the cutest thing because my kids, I don't really like cheese. I'm okay with cheese, but I used to go dairy free when I was nursing all my kids, so I just stopped. So I don't really eat a lot of cheese, but my kids love cheese, love it. And my in-laws get these like little different cheeses from Costco. So they have like all the fancy, the ones you have to like get the block off with your little knife. And so my father nights we'll eat dinner there, and he'll sit down after dinner and he'll like pull a little chunk of cheese off, and the kids flock to him like seagulls.
Is it the Tata cheese?
It is like the fancy. It's like all the fancy cheese, and my kids flock to him like seagulls on a beach, and like little crumbs hanging out. And the kids are like, "Can we have some cheese? Can we have some cheese, Granddad? Can we have some cheese?" And he like slices it off, and they each have little pieces of cheese, and they love it. And I'm like, "That's not me." See, look, toe jam cheese right there. That's what it smells like. It's like it's just gross. I'm not big on cheese, but my kids love it.
Do y'all do like the goat milk cheese or the blue cheese? Actually, like the blue cheese.
I like blue cheese like in dressings and things like that, but I'm good.
I'm talking as she
so
eloquently
the
said.
toe jam
Toe jam cheese.
That's some stinky stuff. See, I'm not big on that.
The gorgonzola, I think, is what it's called when it's not dressing for.
Yeah, it's some
Well,
stinky
yeah.
stuff. It's like that.
Yeah, so I grew up with. I'm just a simple person. I'm looking at the people like Jen and Carmen that are saying things like it's too fancy or it's just a board. Which, look, when I was a kid, that's what we would do sometimes on Saturdays, rainy days, where we were just kind of stuck inside. And I remember that Mom would get out the Ritz crackers, cut some cheese, cut some cheese, and then cut some. And this is all before like the pre-sliced pepperoni, but she would have like a stick of pepperoni, and you would cut the pepperoni. And man, you want to talk about a good cracker? Here's a good cracker. Ready? Take Ritz cracker, put peanut butter on it, put the cheese on it, and and pepperoni. Don't be making that face. Don't be making that face.
Nasty. Don't tell my kids that.
Like peanut butter.
I'm telling
gross.
you.
It's because he's a diehard peanut butter guy. I know you like Reese's peanut butter. It's
Cayce.
jam.
Cayce, listen here. Ready?
Yes,
Earlier you said I was right.
I know, and I'm rethinking.
He's going back on that.
He's rethinking. Give it a try. Don't be. Look, here's the thing. Ready? All these weird combinations that these chefs on TV and stuff come up with. Think about the foods you like. If you like Ritz crackers, you like peanut butter, and now it's creamy peanut butter, by the way. If you like sharp cheddar cheese and you like pepperoni, just put it together once and see what it tastes like.
No, he lives on the home edit. Okay, he don't live in Food Network. Okay, he's like he lives in the home decor section of life, not on the Food Network life. His Food Network would be chicken nuggets and French.
Wait, can I remind you? Okay, but can I remind you? I'm going to remind you that I was talking about very simple food.
After I will put.
Do you have all the things?
I do, I think.
There you go. Okay.
See? Come on.
But if I puke on video, I'm tagging Eric.
Bugles and easy cheese. I win. Oh, that's a good one right there.
No, that actually sounds good.
Bugles are only good for making yourself look like a witch. Okay, that's it. And then you like touch your face and then you like eat them one by one, which is gross. Good. Or you tap on things. You tap on things like you're fancy. I don't know why they look fancy. I've never seen anybody with bugle hands, but
oh, I have. You haven't lived in Atlanta.
Oh no. Hey, Rich Cat Ranch, how are you? Oh my gosh.
We do lunch buffet. We put crackers, pigs in the blanket. Yep. Yes.
Well, my kids, when we packed sandwiches yesterday to come here, saltines with butter on them.
Oh no, that's good.
Well, one of the things my kids packed was they were like, well, can we take some, pepperoni and crackers? I'm like, yeah, we can. So we packed a couple Ritz and we packed some crackers, and that's what we packed some Ritz and we packed some pepperoni, and that's what we brought so that they could snack on it in the ride because they're easy like that. Now we didn't have the peanut butter this time, so.
Cheese.
We had a piece of cheese, but I think they ate them.
Because you always can make a really good, healthy, not as much preservative, Lunchable from that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I did that.
Yeah.
And there's like little Lunchable, like
the bento boxes.
Yes.
Little bento boxes. Yep.
Put it in the freezer.
And you're good to go.
God.
Peanut butter and pickles, don't knock it till you try it. You know what?
Oh,
that's a thing. I've had it before when I was pregnant. Bugle fingers and then stab olives.
Yeah,
oh,
my cousin used
that's
to do
hilarious. Butter the saltines and put them in the oven at 300 degrees for about 4 minutes. Yum. I've never done that. Hey, how are you?
Now I will say. So we got Cottonwood in here. We got Rich Cat, and we got visually impaired lathe and woodworker. So thank you so much for coming in. We're getting ready to finish up in just a minute. Yeah, I'm not. Don't be surprised, Cottonwood. You know why I'm quiet.
No, he's
Bologna
quiet
and pickle.
here. Bologna and pickle slices. I don't know about that, Berkshire Farm.
No, I'm all with you right there.
Bologna and pickles?
Yes.
Like fried bologna or like regular bologna?
I do bologna, mayonnaise, and pickles on bread, cold.
Oh my goodness. What kind of pickles? Like dill pickles, sweet pickles?
No dill.
Like hamburger dill, like the sliced? I gotta know. There's a different flavor.
I grab a jar that's in my.
And then you just put them in.
Put
Okay.
'em in.
Okay. Pickled pimento loaf. I'm not down with that. No, I'm not good.
Well, are we talking pickles, pimento cheese, and that,
Pickled pimento loaf.
or the actual pimento peppers?
See, look, and Dale's on board. Bologna and pickles.
Yes, because it's us Southern ladies. That
See,
know how to
I don't know.
eat.
Fried spam with mayo and pickles.
No,
Okay, so when I went to the store a few weeks ago, I had to get mayo, and I got some Miracle Whip. So I got a Miracle Whip and mayo, and people were like, and my kids were like, "What is this?" I'm like, "It's like mayonnaise, but it's different." And they were like, "No." I'm like, "Just try it." So I'm the only one that eats it because no one likes it. A bunch of jerks.
Did you like the taste test?
I used it on their sandwiches, and they all like poo-pooed it. They were like, "This is
It's too
nasty."
sweet.
Oh my gosh, it's so good. Miracle Whip is so good. Yeah, I know, right? Everybody's gonna be hungry getting out of here.
I like how we're talking about all these combinations, and then Jen throws out there raisins.
Just because everybody knows you're not a fan of raisins, just not having it.
You know,
No living thing.
I want to.
Raquel, I know.
I want to say this real quick, that I've been trying to be really good about the things I eat here recently, and I was just like dreaming about a cake because I saw the cake molds in the pantry the other day, and I was like, I need to see if I can get me a nice star cake.
Oh, you want me to make you a star cake for my birthday on Sunday? Next Sunday?
For my birthday. For my birthday.
That's good. I can wait.
But question, Leanne said birthday cake. Now, what does she mean by birthday cake? Because there's taboo around that. Is it like the birthday cake? Because you can't call a birthday cake a birthday cake. Birthday cake.
That's true.
Oh my gosh, it's like all this hoopla on Instagram right now.
No.
Somebody tagged birthday cake for a chocolate cake.
My birthday cakes are chocolate cakes because my people
so
love
are
them.
mine, but
That's not true.
is that real life?
Look, Raquel said, get a picture of Troy on your wall to remind you to eat healthy. Troy with his muscles.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my goodness. All right. Well, look, we are up against time, and I'm so appreciative for everybody stopping in here and putting up with me for about 41 minutes that I was able to talk all by my lonesome. But
sweet.
I am also very grateful for Cayce taking in my family on the visit, and thank you for giving them a place to stay, and thank you even more for joining us on this live. I really appreciate that. And what I would say too is enjoy almost all those kids that are in your house right now have always helped me shoot videos. So you should do a video and see what it's like to have them. Well, I guess you already know you had your own show, so you know what that's like.
Mine aren't.
But a lot of times the people I talk to, they don't have
tech people.
Say it again.
I said I think your kids would be cooler than actually tech camera people.
Yeah, well, I mean, you just got to tell them what you want, and they usually do a really good job with that. They have fun with it too, I think. Well, and if they don't, I don't really care. They're still going to do it.
Yeah.
So anyway, well,
Carmen, all me and all 7 of my kids that still live at home are here. Yep.
So yeah, make sure you go over and check out Rich Cat Ranch. He says he's got a live tomorrow at 2 p.m. And who else was having a live tomorrow?
Casey's having a live tomorrow night.
I'm testing.
No,
it
was something better. I can't remember.
Yeah,
something better than Cayce.
I'm just replacing Lisa. I'm just a replacement. Okay?
Yeah, Lisa's taking the week off, isn't she?
She is.
She's got new piglets. Go check out Yogi Hollow. Yes. But come over and check out Ormsby Farms tomorrow night. And he'll be alone. I won't be here. I'm going to be at my mom's. I'm going to be in South Carolina. But come check them out.
Why did you sound sad when you said that?
I didn't sound sad. I didn't sound. Oh, Tony has one tomorrow night too. Come check out Cayce this week. So come check out Cayce, then you can go somewhere else. Hey, you know what, Eric? Who likes awesome friends that you can meet in person and that'll let you stay with them and crash your house?
Farmers' wives do.
Yes, we do.
Hey, and farmers do too. Thank you so much again,
Nice.
Casey. We appreciate you. Everybody have a great night. Monica, hang on for a second. Good night,
Okay.
everybody.